Today I'll be connecting the 12 volt 1 console switch on the 2025 Canon to be used as a master switch for a light bar and possibly other lights at a later date. This saves running extra cabling through the firewall and using additional switches. The circuit itself is 300 watt, 25 amps, which is enough to run a small to medium light bar, but I'll still be running light relays under the bonnet. I've already installed the number plate mounted Lightbar bracket. This one's not a bad one. It's 5mm thick, made out of aluminium. The thing you got to do is make sure it's on there pretty solid with all the screws you can get on it, so it doesn't have much movement when you're driving along, so the light bar won't shake. The factory fitted wires connected to the 12 volt 1 switch on the console are located behind the front left headlight, next to the battery and the fuse box. Here I've already fitted the first of two relays, 40 amp. This one's triggered by the 12 volt 1 switch on the console, the two spare wires we seen earlier next to the battery. And I've run a 50 amp red wire cable to the positive side of the battery. To a spare MIDI fuse holder, which is there from factory, and run a 40 amp fuse. I'm using a steady piggyback harness. There's a few brands out there. I got this one through Repco. It's for a Canon, obviously. This plugs into the headlight, back of the headlight. This plugs into the other plug, which normally would go into the headlight. That gives you the trigger for your relays to operate this light bar. The piggyback harness is plugged in. This one's obviously suited to another setup of the same brand. I'll have to cut this back a bit, and I'll just put normal slip-on female blade connectors. Some vehicles are known to have their high beam triggered through the negative wire, not the positive. So it's good to connect both of these wires to each side of the solenoid on the relay, so it should work whichever way your vehicle's wired in. The light bar plug, the female side of it, is a bit too big to fit through there, so we'll either have to cut or grind some to make it fit, or it will fit into the grill there. I'm going to work out which way I'm going to go. The next move is to remove this. I think it's called a cowling, I'm not too sure. You have all these clips that hold it in. You push down the center of the clip, and they lift out. To reset them, push, so they lift up. Then you put them back in and just press them down, and that's how they lock back in. And I'll lift this all the way back over. Here's the two relays fitted. The first one is triggered by the factory wiring from the 12 volt 1 center console switch in the cab. The second one is triggered by the high beam. Power from the battery goes through both into the lights. Doing it this way, I haven't had to run any cabling into the cabin or put any additional switches. I've just used what was there from factory, and we'll have to go and check out how it goes. The only thing is, this will not operate unless the engine's running, which is basically the same as the factory headlights anyway. Here we are at a dirt road with the high beam on, without the light bar. I'll press the 12 volt 1 console switch now. The 17-inch Bush Ranger light bar's now on. It actually is brighter on the camera than what it is in reality, but it's made a bit of a difference. It'll get me out of trouble until I can get a bull bar or a nudge bar with the bigger lights. But they're working. High and low, no extra wiring, using the factory wiring. Hope this video has been a bit of a help to people.